Thanks, Naomi. And yeah, we're here to talk about BioWare's first MMO. We're here with Daniel Erickson, a lead writer on the game. And I guess just to start off, this game is enormous. Can you just
huge?
can you just give an overview as to where this is set in the fiction and the story set up behind the game?
Absolutely. So the game takes place 3,000 years before the events of the original movies. So 3,000 years before Vader, there was the Old Republic. Huge galaxy spanning. It takes about 300 years after the events of the original Knights of the Old Republic game. So things have settled down, and then all of a sudden the Sith Empire comes back. Now this is actually like the old Sith, the full people who are actually a species and a people. Everyone had thought they were gone about 1,000 years ago. Very surprised, they come back, there's a huge war. The war ends, and that's in the big, all the cool CG trailers you guys have seen for the game. That all takes place during the Great War. When the game starts, it's been about 10 years since the Great War ended. And there was a very, very tenuous peace, and players are sitting there knowing that war is coming again, and they're going to be the next generation that has to deal with this conflict. So they pick one side or the other, and then we start the real thing.
Okay, and I mean, when a lot of people hear the name BioWare, they think story elements. And it seems like I know there's full voice acting for most quests or all quests.
Everything is fully VO'd. I mean, there is occasional bounty board or something that it doesn't make sense to VO because you're reading something. But for the most part, it plays just like any single-player BioWare game would as far as the story elements go. Full VO, your character is fully VO'd. Of course, what's different now is you have multiplayer dialogue, and your whole party can be together having all these adventures, which is always what role-playing games were supposed to be.
Right, so how does that work? If you actually have multiple people in a conversation, they're making decisions as to how the conversation progresses?
Absolutely, and what actually happens is they roll to see who gets to talk at any one time, except for the super important ones that come together in a vote node, and then you actually sort of team up to vote against it. But it's still possible for one guy who rolls really well to outscore 3 people who roll really badly at it together, and so he ends up, killing the guy when everybody else was like, no, let's save him.
Okay. And I mean, as a lead writer, like, how much writing is involved in that? If you have as many quests that are in this game, I assume there's content all the way up to the level cap, like...
Yeah, well, there's 8 different classes, and each one of the classes actually has their entire own story going on, as well as all the world arcs and that sort of thing. So this thing is actually bigger than every BioWare game we've done before put together. At one point, and this is quite a while ago, we figured out we had just dialogue, enough word count to fill 60 standard-sized Star Wars novels.
Okay.
It's big.
It seems like a lot, and to fill that with actual content, I mean, can you talk about the types of quests that you'll be doing, and maybe some of the end game content that'll be in store for players?
One of the things we've talked a little bit about, so we revealed the operations, which are our end game, our version of raids. And so people have seen how that has the cool content. People have seen how the flashpoints have, more story, and they're not like the typical dungeons. What we actually decided to show today and bring out was the Alderaan content. And the reason for that is that's actually a world arc, which is something we haven't talked about before. It's not separated out. It's not something that you have to go and, run your instance for an hour and a half. This is what our normal gameplay looks like. It is a 10-quest arc that covers all of the planet of Alderaan and ends with a huge boss fight where you take on the general who's tried to claim the king's, position for himself. And there's a big puzzle fight. You have to figure out how to take him out. You've got a multi-stage boss fight in it. And this is all stuff that happens just in the normal course of gameplay, not talking about all the extended endgame content, etc.
Not talking like the separated off stuff.
Exactly. This is just like your normal, what you and your friends can be doing at any time in the Old Republic.
Okay. And yeah, in terms of PvP, I know people are probably going to want to fight each other in this game, considering the conflict and the popularity of the fiction.
Right. We always say it is Star Wars for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, can you just talk about the general structure there for people that are going to be
Absolutely. So we have PvP servers and PvE servers. We have the war zones, which are your separated out, really dynamic, really fun, immersive places where we try to put the story in there as well, where people can get together in a safe place and fight teams against teams. We also have open world PvP, which we haven't talked that much about yet, but we are going to have places where you can go and do big PvP where everybody comes in and there's really no rules. And then obviously on the PvP servers, it's kind of free-for-all. One of the things we decided to do for the show floor is we brought Tatooine and just let people play. And Tatooine is a planet where all the classes are together at the same point. There really is no government structure, or there's not a lot of guards and things. And you get out into like the Dune Sea, and everybody's paths cross because of the quests. And if you're on a PvP server, it's just a dangerous, dangerous place to be.
Okay, and I mean, I assume there are a lot of ways to develop your character as you progress, like with whatever class you've chosen. If you want to specialize in maybe PvP or PvE focused content, or like how many different ways are there to switch up your build?
A lot of that comes into sort of how you're going to gear up and what you're going to switch out for alternate stuff. But in each character, there's a huge amount of variety. Each character class has 2 different advanced classes, and each of those advanced classes has several different trees. So although people think of like the Sith Inquisitor has the Sorcerer advanced class, which is very much I'm going to use my lightning, I'm going to do control stuff, and I'm going to heal. And then the Assassin advanced class, which is technically, everyone thinks of it as the stealth assassin. You're going to go in and backstab people. But actually right now I'm playing it as a tank. There is an entire tank class, so you get to be an evasion tank. We try to make sure that the different roles, one, are a little bit more fluid in ours, which we can do because of your companion characters, the characters in the classic Bioware thing that come along with you, because they can also balance out if you don't have quite the right skills. But also, a lot of people are going to pick their class based on story, so we want to make sure that they can also play the type of gameplay that they want to play.
Okay, and I mean, yeah, do you have opportunities to be sort of a good guy or a bad guy in this game? If you wanted to be evil or help people out?
And one of the important things is that people understand that faction is different from light side, dark side. So you can be a good Sith. You can be the guy who's trying to make the Empire a better place for your people, who's working hard against the craziness around there. You can be a bad Jedi, and there are story consequences that affect your game and change things all the way through there.
Okay, cool. Is there a pricing model set for the game yet, and when it winds up coming out?
There is not a pricing model set yet.
Okay.
Expect that probably, release date, all that fun stuff, then pricing model and discussions.
All right, and I mean, I think a lot of people want to know at this point, when will everyone be able to get their hands on this game? And I don't know if you can say that yet, or if there's any like open beta possibility.
So we're still talking about 2011.
Okay.
And any discussions of beta are probably going to come around the same discussions of specific release dates, which not yet.
Okay, well, sounds good. Game looks great, and yeah, this is the first MMO from Bioware, an MMO set in the Star Wars universe. It's very exciting, and back to you, Naomi.